When you look up at the sky, chances are you're seeing a Boeing or an Airbus. These two giants dominate commercial aviation, shaping how millions travel every day. Their rivalry is about more than business. It's about innovation, engineering, and the future of flight. The choices made by Boeing in the US and Airbus in Europe affect everything from ticket prices to safety. In this series, we'll explore their origins, strategies, and what makes each unique. By the end, you'll understand the strengths and weaknesses that define this ultimate duel in the sky. Boeing and Airbus are economic powerhouses, employing hundreds of thousands and supporting vast supply chains worldwide. Their aircraft connect continents, enable global business, and shape international diplomacy. Major orders can sway economies and even influence political alliances. Both face growing pressure to reduce aviation's environmental impact, investing billions in greener technologies. The rivalry between them drives innovation and shapes the future of sustainable air travel. Their decisions today will determine the environmental footprint of tomorrow's aviation industry. Boeing and Airbus form a classic duopoly, pushing each other to innovate and improve. Their competition benefits airlines and passengers with better technology and more choices. Boeing favors pilot control. Airbus pioneered fly-by-wire automation, sparking debate among pilots and enthusiasts. Iconic models like the Boeing 747 and Airbus A380 symbolize their engineering might, but crises like the 737 MAX show how fortunes can shift. As new challenges emerge, sustainability, new competitors, and safety, their rivalry will define the next era of flight. The journey to innovate and connect our world never truly stops. Boeing's story began in 1916, founded by William Boeing in Seattle. Starting with simple seaplanes, Boeing quickly built a reputation for robust military aircraft. The Model 40 mail plane and the Model 247 airliner marked Boeing's early commercial breakthroughs. The all-metal Model 247 set new standards for speed and comfort in the 1930s. During World War II, Boeing's bombers showcased its manufacturing might and innovation. These experiences laid the groundwork for Boeing's dominance in the jet age. Boeing's legacy was well established before Airbus entered the scene. Airbus was born from a European effort to challenge American dominance in aviation. In 1969, France and Germany launched Airbus to build the A300, the world's first twin-engine wide-body jet. The consortium model pooled Europe's best engineering, with parts built across several countries and assembled in Toulouse. The A300's efficiency eventually won over airlines, proving Airbus could compete globally. The collaborative approach became Airbus's DNA, driving innovation and resilience. Early struggles forged Airbus's identity as a determined underdog. Airbus's rise set the stage for a new era in aviation rivalry. Boeing 707 revolutionized air travel in the 1950s, cementing its lead. Airbus challenged this with the efficient A300, targeting a market Boeing had overlooked. The real turning point came with the A320 in the 1980s, introducing digital fly-by-wire controls and competing head-to-head with Boeing's 737. The A320's success forced Boeing to innovate, leading to the 737 next generation. The rivalry spurred rapid advances in technology and efficiency. Airbus broke the American monopoly, creating the duopoly that defines aviation today. The battle for the skies was just beginning. Boeing and Airbus approached the business of selling aircraft with fundamentally different strategies, shaped by their unique origins. Boeing, for much of its history, operated with the confidence of an established market leader. Its business model was built on a strong foundation of long-term relationships with airlines, particularly in the United States, and a deep integration with the American defense and aerospace industry. This created a stable, reliable customer base. Boeing's strategy often involved leveraging its extensive family of aircraft to offer package deals, encouraging airlines to build an all-Boeing fleet to simplify maintenance, pilot training, and operations for their customers. Airbus, on the other hand, entered the market as an aggressive challenger and had to fight for every single sale. Its initial business strategy was necessarily more disruptive and flexible. To break into a market dominated by American giants, Airbus was often willing to offer more attractive financing, steeper discounts, and greater customization options to win over new customers. This approach was backed by the political and financial support of its European partner governments, which helped Airbus absorb the initial risks and losses. This aggressive commercial stance was crucial in helping the European consortium gain a foothold, and eventually become a formidable competitor to the established American brand. The way they develop new aircraft models also reflects their core philosophies. Boeing has historically followed a more market-driven, evolutionary approach. It often prefers to improve and update its existing successful aircraft families, such as the 737 and 777, rather than starting from a completely clean sheet. This strategy is generally less risky and less expensive, as it builds upon proven technology and existing manufacturing lines. It responds directly to what airlines say they need, focusing on incremental improvements in efficiency and performance. This can be seen as a more conservative but commercially pragmatic business model for a large company. In contrast, Airbus has often embraced a more technology-driven revolutionary strategy, aiming to leapfrog the competition. The development of the A320 with its fly-by-wire system and the A380 Super Jumbo are prime examples of this bold approach. Airbus is more inclined to invest in brand new designs that incorporate cutting-edge technology, even if it means higher development costs and greater market risks. This philosophy is about setting new industry standards and forcing competitors to react, rather than just responding to current market demands. It reflects the ambition of a company that had to innovate dramatically to carve out its place in the aviation world. The manufacturing processes of Boeing and Airbus are as distinct as their business strategies. Boeing has traditionally favored a more centralized manufacturing model, especially in its early decades. The heart of its operations has long been in the Puget Sound region of Washington state, particularly in its massive factories in Everett and Renton. For many of its aircraft, major components were built in-house or by nearby suppliers, and then brought to these central locations for final assembly. This approach allowed for tight control over the production process and quality, reflecting a more traditional, vertically integrated industrial model. Airbus, born from a multinational consortium, was built on a foundation of decentralized manufacturing from its very beginning. This was a political necessity as much as a logistical choice. Each partner nation wanted a significant share of the work, so production was spread across Europe. Wings are made in the United Kingdom, fuselage sections in Germany and France, and tail components in Spain. These enormous, fully equipped sections are then transported by land, sea, and even by a special fleet of oversized cargo planes called the Beluga, to the final assembly lines in Toulouse, France, or Hamburg, Germany. This creates an incredibly complex but collaborative global supply chain. In recent decades, both companies have moved towards a more globalized supply chain, but their core philosophies still show. Boeing, particularly with the 787 Dreamliner, adopted a more outsourced and globally distributed model. It relied on partners from around the world such as Italy and Japan to build entire sections of the aircraft. These partners were given more responsibility for design and manufacturing. However, this shift created significant initial production delays and integration problems for the 787, highlighting the immense challenges of managing such a complex global network and the risks associated with losing direct manufacturing control. Airbus, meanwhile, has refined its decentralized model and even expanded it beyond Europe. It now operates final assembly lines not only in France and Germany but also in Tianjin, China, and Mobile, Alabama in the United States. This strategy brings production closer to key customers, can help secure large orders, and mitigates some of the logistical hurdles of its European-centric system. While Boeing's supply chain is vast, Airbus's entire identity is built around the concept of assembling giant, complex aircraft from major components built hundreds or even thousands of miles apart, a testament to incredible logistical coordination and international cooperation. A key strategy for Boeing and Airbus is offering an aircraft family, different sized versions based on a common design. This allows airlines to use different sized planes for different routes while maintaining a common fleet, simplifying maintenance and pilot training. Boeing's 737 series exemplifies this, evolving from its 1960s version to the latest MAX series to meet market demands. Competition is fierce, especially in the single-aisle market. The battle between the 737 MAX and A320neo families illustrates this, with both companies upgrading their best-selling jets with fuel-efficient engines. The success of the A321neo created a market segment that forced Boeing to reconsider its product strategy. This development race drives innovation and shapes choices for airlines worldwide. Stepping into a modern airliner cockpit reveals the manufacturer's design philosophy. Boeing favors an evolutionary approach, using the classic control yoke for familiarity across models. Airbus took a different path, replacing the yoke with a side stick. This provides a clear view of displays and a less cluttered workspace. Boeing's digital cockpits retain a lineage from analog days, while Airbus uses a need-to-know philosophy. Their displays are clean, showing only essential information. The dark cockpit concept reduces workload, helping pilots quickly spot abnormalities. The profound difference between Boeing and Airbus lies in their approach to flight control and the pilot's role. Boeing's philosophy emphasizes keeping the pilot in command. Their aircraft use a system where the control yoke is directly connected to the flight control surfaces. Airbus pioneered a digital fly-by-wire system. The pilot's inputs are signals to onboard computers, which then command the flight controls. A key feature is flight envelope protection. The computers prevent inputs exceeding safe operating limits. In a Boeing, the pilot can override the autopilot. Airbus believes its computer protections offer higher safety than allowing a pilot to make critical errors. Neither philosophy is inherently right or wrong, they are different answers to managing the human-machine interface. While pilots focus on controls, passengers care more about cabin comfort and design. Boeing and Airbus have distinct approaches that influence the travel experience. Boeing's wide-body aircraft were known for cabin width, giving airlines flexibility in seating. The 787 Dreamliner introduced larger, dimmable windows and lower cabin altitude. Airbus has also prioritized cabin design. A key selling point has been a consistent cabin cross-section for better comfort. The A380 Super Jumbo offered a massive, quiet cabin with potential for luxurious amenities. The competition is visible in the 787 Dreamliner and A350 XWB. Constructed from carbon composite, they allow for improvements in cabin environment. Both feature advanced air filtration, quieter engines, and dynamic LED lighting. Ultimately, comfort is determined by the airline, not the manufacturer. Boeing and Airbus provide a customizable canvas, but airlines decide on seating configuration and in-flight entertainment. Innovation is the lifeblood of the aerospace industry, and both Boeing and Airbus have pushed the boundaries of what is possible in flight. Boeing innovated in structural engineering with the 787 Dreamliner, using composite materials for a lighter, more fuel-efficient aircraft. Airbus introduced digital fly-by-wire technology, setting a new standard for flight control systems. Airbus has also been a pioneer in manufacturing innovation, perfecting its complex multinational production system. The Boeing 737 MAX and the Airbus A320neo families were created around new high-bypass turbofan engines. Sophisticated aerodynamic enhancements reduce drag and save fuel, showcasing how even small innovations can have a big impact. Looking to the future, both are exploring technologies like hybrid electric propulsion, hydrogen-powered aircraft, and sustainable aviation fuels. This focus on decarbonizing aviation will define the future of air travel. Safety is the absolute foundation of the entire aviation industry. Boeing's approach to safety has traditionally been built on redundancy and pilot authority. Airbus approaches safety with a strong emphasis on system monitoring and flight envelope protection. The core idea is preventing the aircraft from entering an unsafe state in the first place. Statistically, both manufacturers produce incredibly safe aircraft. The safety records of modern Boeing and Airbus jets are remarkably similar. This outstanding record is a testament to decades of rigorous design and continuous improvement. It is also the result of a collaborative global safety ecosystem. Despite their different philosophies, the ultimate goal is identical: to build an aircraft where multiple layers of safety work together to prevent accidents. This relentless, shared commitment to safety is precisely why commercial air travel has become extraordinarily reliable. An aviation manufacturer's commitment to safety is visible in how it responds to a crisis. No company is immune to failure. Both Boeing and Airbus have faced challenges that tested their processes. Airbus faced a crisis with the crash of an A320 in 1988, raising questions about fly-by-wire technology. Airbus doubled down on training and transparency, working with airlines and regulators to improve pilot understanding. This built confidence in their fly-by-wire system, now an industry standard. Boeing faced a crisis with the 737 MAX accidents in 2018 and 2019. These events exposed flaws in the aircraft's design process and safety culture. Boeing has since overhauled its safety procedures and corporate culture. It has also worked to improve transparency with its airline customers and regulators. The lessons learned are leading to changes intended to ensure that safety is prioritized. One of the most defining milestones in aviation history was the battle between two iconic jumbo jets. The Boeing 747, affectionately known as the Queen of the Skies, was a true game-changer. Its size democratized air travel, making long-haul flights more affordable. Decades later, Airbus challenged Boeing with an even bigger aircraft, the A380. It was designed to carry more people, promising lower per-seat costs. However, airlines began to favor smaller, more fuel-efficient jets. The hub-to-hub model became less dominant. Boeing ended 747 production. In 2019, Airbus announced it would end A380 production, acknowledging its vision didn't match market reality. The battle of the giants had ended, marking a shift away from massive four-engine jets. The 737 MAX tragedy was the most severe crisis in Boeing's modern history. Two brand-new Boeing 737 MAX aircraft crashed within 5 months, killing all 346 people on board. This led to the worldwide grounding of the 737 MAX fleet, costing the company billions. Investigations uncovered deep-seated issues within Boeing, revealing a culture that prioritized production speed and profit over safety. The findings severely damaged Boeing's reputation and shattered public trust. The disaster exposed the dangers of the close relationship between Boeing and the FAA. Boeing was forced to undertake a painful journey of reform, restructuring its internal safety oversight. The 737 MAX crisis serves as a stark reminder that a relentless focus on safety is paramount. 2019 marked a turning point. Boeing grappled with the 737 MAX grounding. Airbus ramped up a 320 neo production. For the first time in nearly a decade, Airbus overtook Boeing to become the world's largest aircraft manufacturer based on deliveries. Airbus's A321neo hit a sweet spot, creating a new market segment. Airbus solidified its position, reshaping competitive dynamics. Boeing is now in a period of recovery, focusing on safety. Its immediate future is about ensuring the quality of existing products. Looking ahead, the rivalry enters a new phase. Airbus faces the challenge of maintaining its leadership. Boeing works to regain lost ground. Both companies face pressures to develop sustainable aircraft. The duopoly is now more fiercely contested than ever. The competition between Boeing and Airbus is a clash of history, philosophy, and engineering. Boeing, the American pioneer, built its legacy on decades of aviation leadership. Airbus, the European challenger, emerged to compete, bringing a disruptive spirit to the industry. Boeing's strength lies in its experience, while Airbus's strength is in its collaborative structure and embrace of new technologies. Their struggle for supremacy has been the primary engine of progress in commercial aviation. This rivalry has accelerated innovation and shaped the way we connect our world. Looking toward the horizon, the rivalry between Boeing and Airbus enters a new chapter. Their duopoly faces immense external pressures, especially the demand for sustainability. Both are in a race to decarbonize aviation, requiring a shift in aircraft design. They're exploring hydrogen-powered jets and hybrid electric systems. New competitors like Comac are emerging, signaling a changing global landscape. Their focus shifts to creating a safer, more sustainable future for air travel. The journey ahead promises to be fascinating.